Welcome. Welcome. I'll just close my door so my dog doesn't come in. Come back into focus, always good. Okay, so a really nice sequence today just to create space. So for the majority of most people's day at this time is that we're kind of slouched and we're kind of scrunched. So what I want to do today is to create space in the front of the body, just to find a bit of lift and really kind of support the stomach and all the organs, just so that we can function better and happier. So we're going to start in a seat, and it might be nice if you have a cushion. I'm just going to get a blanket just to pop under your bum. It can really start to help to counter that kind of slump. So if you do have a cushion, you don't have to. Just kind of perch your bum near the edge of the seat, and it just allows the hips to drop a little bit forwards and we start to open up the front of the body. And we're going to work with a little bit of a meditation, a little mudra to start with. So what we're going to do, let me show you, is bring the middle two fingers to touch the thumb and extend the other two. It's kind of like what's that, like deers, but with the palms up, okay? And just finding a comfortable seat and then resting the hands on the legs with the palms up. And take a moment just to kind of wriggle into your seat. Notice if you're kind of slumping. So trying to have a little light pull through the top of the head. Relax the shoulders and close the eyes. That's my dog, sorry. I don't know if you can hear that. But we just we let go of distraction. On cue that was. And just start to notice your breath. With the rise of the inhale and the fall of the exhale. And take your awareness right into the back of the body. We're just going to be here just for a minute. And as you breathe in, can you feel the breath coming in from the top of the head all the way down to the base of the spine? And as you breathe out, can you feel the breath traveling up the spine all the way out through the crown of the head? Let's see if you can watch that. Give yourself just this minute. See if you can focus your mind. Softening the face. Just notice if your mind is wandering off. See if you can bring it back just for a couple more breaths. And then let the next exhale go. Keep your eyes closed. Just bring your awareness into your hands, into your fingers. Maybe you feel maybe a tingling there. Maybe you don't. Maybe there's nothing. Maybe it's a warmth. But just rest your awareness in the hands, that contact between the thumb and the middle fingers. Feeling the other fingers reaching away. And then bring the head down, blink the eyes open. We'll release the hands, give the shoulders a roll, lift the gaze. Give the shoulders a roll and just check in with the neck. And actually it's always nice just to close the eyes when you move the head just so you don't get dizzy, and just really feel into the neck, maybe drawing a circle with the nose. One way and then the other. And then blink the eyes open again, give the shoulders a roll again. You can never roll the shoulders too much. And we're going to make our way to hands and knees. So we're going to take some cat-cow movements. So taking your hands nice and wide, maybe a little bit wider than the shoulders. Spread the fingers. And then the knees are hip distance apart. So we drop the belly and we bring the chest forwards, looking forwards, not up, but looking forwards as you breathe in. Breathing out, push into the knuckles of your hands and then round the spine, bring the chin to the chest. And we find that flow with your breath. So breathing in, starting at the base of the spine, the head moves last, both directions. Breathing out, start at the base of the spine, and then the chin comes in towards the chest at the very end. Finding your breath, finding your rhythm. And then next time you breathe out, I'm going to take the hips towards the heels, towards a child pose. Bring the forearms to the ground and then breathe in. Bring your chest forwards and then push up into that arched back. So breathing out to round, taking it back. Forearms to the ground and breathing in, scooping it forward. So a nice circular flow. And so this area that we're working on today, the front of the body, as you breathe in, can you just relax the muscles deep into the tummy? As you breathe out, drawing them in. Let's take another couple of flows. And then next time you come to child pose, we'll pause down there. See if you can soften the tummy between the thighs, so a little gap between the legs. Turn the palms up towards the ceiling. Just relax the wrists. Relax the shoulders and really soften into your lower back. Okay, and then plant the hands. Look towards your hands. We're going to take it up to downward dog. So tuck the toes under, lift the bum up. Send the bum as far away from your wrists as you can. Keep the knees really bent, as if you're trying to touch your ribs to your knees. And then just draw the shoulders into body. And then we'll keep the right knee really, really bent and start to straighten the left leg as much as is comfortable without forcing it. And just hold it on that side. And bring more focus into bringing your chest towards your right knee. Pausing, take the shoulders away from the ears, and then switch. So bend the left knee, straighten the right leg. Find a pause. And then bend both knees. Look towards your hands. We're going to take a little walk up to the front of your mat. And we come into a little forward fold. So again, really nice bend in the knees. Take a hold of the elbows, chin to the chest. And just having a dangle. Finding that little sway. Release the shoulders, maybe give the shoulders a wriggle, a little shake of the head here. It's a nice and soft body. A little bit of weight into the heels of your feet. And then we'll release the hands down towards the ground. And with the chin tucked into the chest, we're going to roll all the way up to standing. The head comes up last of all. And when the head lifts, just give the shoulders a little roll back, a little shake of the wrists, a little shake into the legs. And we'll bring the hands to your heart. Just adjust my camera. So just pausing, feeling into the feet. Okay, and when you're ready, we're going to breathe in. Take the arms out wide, reach them up to the sky, look up. And as you breathe out, soften the knees, take the arms back out wide, dive all the way down to the ground. As we breathe in, slide your hands all the way up to the tops of the legs into a halfway lift, like a number 7. Straightening the legs as much as is comfortable. Breathing out, take it down to the ground, bend the knees. Push through the feet, take the arms out wide and come all the way up to standing, looking up to the hands and breathing out, hands to the heart. Take that one more time, breathing in, take it up. Breathing out, diving forward, softening the knees. We rise up halfway and then breathe out, take it down. Push through the feet, take the arms up. We're going to keep the arms up this time. Take a hold of your left wrist, take it over, a little side bend. Relax the shoulders, maybe turn your head up towards the ceiling. So looking up through that arm, rooting down through the feet. Take one more breath and then soften the knees. Breathe out, bring it up. Change the switch of the arms to take the right arm over, to the left. So if you can look up towards the ceiling, so looking underneath that arm, relaxing the shoulders, taking a breath. And then soft knees, little bounce as you bring it all the way back up. Big dive down to the ground. Breathing into that halfway lift. And breathing out, take it back down. So feet about hip distance apart, toes facing forwards. Bend the knees again, take a hold of the elbows. Back into this ragdoll state. And a little release of the head. Relax the shoulders. And dangling down. Almost as though you're trying to bring your knees in towards your armpits. Maybe one day. But really, if you're really up quite high here, bend your knees. Think of bringing the tummy to the thighs. See if it takes you a little bit lower. Chin to the chest, the final piece of the puzzle. So a little dangle. And then we're going to release the hands towards the ground. So I'm going to invite you here to bring your index and middle fingers and bring them around your toes, your big toes. See if you can hook your toes. If that grosses you out, then just hold on to your ankles. If that's like nowhere near where you can't get anywhere near your toes, just bring the hands onto the shins, okay? So what we're going to do as we breathe out, we're going to bend in towards the legs wherever you are, knees are bent. As you breathe in, push your hands either into your feet, your shins, wherever you're holding on. See if you can lengthen the spine like a halfway lift. And if you look at me, you see my knees are still really bent. So you might be down here, that's fine. As you breathe out, draw your chest towards your thighs. And as you breathe in, lengthen your spine. So we breathe out, drawing it in. So you can draw the tummy in as you breathe out, hollowing out the tummy. As you breathe in, lift and lengthen. Maybe the legs start to straighten a little bit. Breathing out. I'm going to do it one more time, lengthening the body. Shoulders away from the ears. This time, see if you can hold it. Pause. Shoulders drawing down the back of the body. And imagine there's an iron on your back. It's ironing out the spine. See if you can lengthen your spine just a little bit more. And then breathe out, take it in. We're going to release the hands, whatever you're holding. Bring the hands down to the floor, nice and wide. And step back to a downward dog. That nice bend into the knees. Find the length in your spine. If you've got a lot of weight into your wrists, your body is too far forward. So really push through the knuckles of your hands. Reach the bum back. Head dangles between the arms. And then maybe the legs just start to take this little walk. So rather than holding it like we did in that first one, start to have this little walk without moving your feet. So bending one leg, straightening the other. Shoulders drawing into the body. Okay, and then see if you can bring a bit of weight into both heels. Reach the bum back. Push through the finger knuckles and then look towards your hands. We're going to come right up onto our tiptoes. Bring the hips up and bring the hips forward so the shoulders stack over the wrists. Just adjusting the body so you've got that right length. Finding your plank pose. Notice if your bum is really high up, see if you can lower it. Notice if your bum is really low down, that's not good. You want to bring the hips kind of roughly in line with the shoulders, pushing away from the ground. Finding a little bit of heat, a bit of strength. And then lower the knees down. We're going to roll down onto the tummy. So bend the elbows, hug them into the side of the ribs as you come all the way down, untucking the toes. Okay, the hands are in line with the chest. Elbows are lifted. Push into your feet, push into your hips. As you breathe in, lift up. Try not to push into the hands. So reaching out through the legs, reaching out through the crown of the head. If you've come up really high, I want you to come down. So you're not using the right muscles in the back. So breathe out to lower. Let's do it without the hands and see. So float the hands off the ground. Push your feet into the ground. Push the hips. As you breathe in, lift the back of your head. And you'll feel the muscles in your back activate. Breathing out to lower. We'll do one more. Breathing in to lift. Breathing out to lower. Okay. We're going to just push up, hands and knees. And take it back to a child pose. Just stretch out the spine. Flip the palms up towards the ceiling. Taking a breath. And then we're going to bring it back. Plant the hands, bring the body forward. So we're going to roll all the way back onto our tummies. And this time bring the hands underneath your face. So take the elbows out wide, relax the forearms into the ground. Bring your forehead onto your hands. And we're going to pick up the whole right leg. So the whole right leg rises. And we point the toes behind. And I want you to find length in your waist. Relax the shoulders. Pause here, breathing into that side body. And breathe out, lower that leg down. And we'll do the same with the left leg, rising the left leg. See if you can really lift that whole leg up, point back through the toes, relax the shoulders. And then breathe out to lower. Okay, push into the tops of the feet, push into the hips. So engage those leg muscles, hug the muscles into the bone. And as you breathe in, float the head up. Maybe float the hands up as well. And then breathe out to lower. We'll do that again. Breathing and lifting the head, lift the arms. Breathing out to lower. Just pause, give the hips a little wriggle. And then we're going to float up both legs together. So really push the hips down into the ground. Breathe in, see if you can lift up both legs. So a squeeze of the bum. Going to support the back muscles. As you breathe in, keep the arms down, but lift the head. Little locust pose. Relax the shoulders, lengthen the waist. Taking a breath. And then breathe out to lower. Let's give the hips a little wriggle. And this time we're going to bring the hands down by the side of the hips. The palms are going to come into the ground. Same thing. Breathing in, float both legs up. Keep the head down to start with. And as you breathe in next, lift the back of the head up. Pause here and push the hands into the ground, or maybe you float the hands off of the ground. So listen to your body, see what feels comfortable. If you floated the hands, reach the fingers towards the feet, spread your collarbones. Breathe into your tummy. And then breathe out to lower it down to the ground. Pick an ear, lie on that ear, and just give the hips a little wriggle from side to side. You can turn the palms up to the ceiling, just relax the shoulders. Okay. And then we're going to bring the arms back underneath the body. We're going to let's bring the left arm so it's kind of crossing in front of you. The forearm is on the ground, kind of parallel to the top of the mat if you're using one. We're going to bend the right leg and just reach back with your right hand. See if you can grab a hold of that foot. Maybe you find the legging. If you find the foot, see if you can bring your hand to the inside arch of that foot. So yeah, your thumb is pointing up. And then we're going to start just to lift the chest up and push this foot into the hand. A really nice shoulder stretch. So if you can hold it here, keep pushing down through your left foot so that leg is extended, reaching through, maybe lifting up a little bit higher. Maybe if you push the hip down, you can just float the thigh off the ground a little bit. Listen to your body. Breathing in. And then breathe out, release. Come back down to the ground. And just pick the other ear, just pause, have a little rest between sides. Give the hips a wriggle. And we're going to take it to the other side. So we're going to bring the right forearm down, parallel to the front of the mat. Reaching back with the left hand, see if you can find a hold. If you can just grab a hold of the trousers, maybe, that's fine. If you can find the foot, bring the hand to the inner arch of the foot. And then we lift the chest up and then start to push the foot into the hand. See if you can find a stretch in the front of the left shoulder. And then soften into the stretch. Keep pushing the foot into the hand. Maybe you float that left thigh up just a centimeter. It's a good quad stretch. Breathing in, lengthening the waist. And then breathing out, release, come down. Press the forehead down or pick an ear. Little wriggle of the hips. And then this is the final part of this little sequence here. You're going to bend both legs. You're going to reach back with your right hand, take a hold of the right foot, maybe the inner arch. And then reach back with the left hand, see if you can find your left foot. What we want to do here, what we don't want to do is let the knees kind of go really wide. So I want you to imagine there's an elastic band around your thighs. Okay. And we're going to start to push both feet into the hands. So if you can lift the chest up a little bit. We want to really squeeze the shoulder blades together, broadening across the collarbones. And then maybe push a little bit harder, the thighs start to lift, but I want you to really find the length in your lower back. So try not to squish too much into the back, keeping length. Breathing, so if you can breathe into your tummy here. Try not to let the knees go too wide. I'm going to take one more breath. And then release. Oh, bring it down, pick an ear. Oh, hands by the hips, just have a shimmy. And just pause here for a breath. Just let that work go. And then we're going to bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Gently push yourself up. Hands and knees around the spine like cat-cow, and take it down to your child pose. Stretching the back. You can turn the palms upwards if that feels comfortable in your shoulders. But just breathing into the back of your body. And then when you're ready, plant the hands, lift it up, hands and knees. And then walk the hands in towards your body, come up to high kneeling. And what we're going to do is step your right foot out to the side. So it's a long leg. So we're bending into the left knee is underneath the left hip. The right toes are facing forwards, you can't see that. This right hand is going to rest on your leg with a palm face up. And the left arm is going to reach up and take it over into a side bend. And as we breathe in, lift it up. As you breathe out, leaning over. So try not to dump too much weight into this standing leg. Breathing in, lifting it up. Breathing out. Relax the shoulders. We'll take one more breath. Find space in the waist here. Breathing out, take it over. And pause here. See if you can turn your gaze, look up, just like we did when we were standing. Pushing into the outside edge of that straight leg. The straight foot of the straight leg. Taking a breath. And then push through, lift it all the way up. Bring it out, and we're going to step this knee in. Take the opposite leg out. Okay, finding your left hand resting palm up on that straight leg. Take the right arm up. As you breathe out, leaning it over. Breathing in, lifting up. So feel the whole front of the body start to open up. Notice if you're kind of curling in, lengthen the spine. And this time as you take it over, holding it over, turning your gaze up if that's all right in your neck, relax the shoulders. Breathing into the side body, trying to relax the tummy. And then lift it up. We'll bring the hands down, bring your knees back together, tucking the toes. We're gonna just bring the hands by your knees, lift the knees, little toe squat. So if you can balance on your fingertips, squeeze the knees together. And then with your fingertips on the floor, lift your bum up. Try and stay up on your tiptoes. Lift and lengthen. See if you can lengthen the legs a little bit more. And then lower the heels to the ground, chin to the chest. Slowly roll all the way up, standing. Ooh, give the shoulders a roll. Bringing the hands to the heart. Breathing in, take the arms up, look up. As you breathe out, dive down to the ground. Breathing, rising up halfway. And then breathing out, take it down, bend the knees. Push through the feet, arms wide, rise all. And exhale, hands to the heart. And we do that one more time. Breathing in, palms face up, open up the chest. Breathing out. Breathing in halfway. And then breathe out. Bring the fingers to the floor, and we're going to step back, downward dog. See if you can bring a little bit more weight into the heels. See how the legs are starting to feel. Keep the hips reaching away from your wrists. Head dangling. Just take a pause. And then look towards your hands. Rise up onto the toes. Bring the hips forwards into your plank. And this time we're going to lower the knees. If you can untuck your toes. And then we're going to keep a little bit more weight into the arms this time. And I want you to drop the hips down and bring your chest forwards between the hands, so spreading the collarbones, deeper back bend. So just be mindful of how this feels. Take a breath, push into the tops of your feet. And then bend the elbows, hug them into the ribs as you lower all the way down. And then we're going to step our forearms forward. This time the fingers are facing the same direction as your eyes. That makes sense, into a Sphinx pose. So we're going to have the elbows forwards. Let me move my camera again. It's going to be lower to the ground now. So, it's going to work. It's not working. That'll do. So we bring our forearms to the ground. Elbows are underneath the shoulders. The hands are reaching forwards. And we want to have this sense of pulling the fingers in towards the body. So spreading the collarbones, pushing into the feet, pushing down through the hips. And then see if you can lengthen your tummy. Can you lengthen all the way up the sternum, the center of the chest? Breathing in, so active pose. Breathing out to release. Take one more breath. As you breathe out, take the elbows wide, lower the chest, hands under the shoulders, lifting it up, take it into downward dog. Just give the bum a wriggle. Notice how the body's starting to feel. And I'm going to step the right foot forward between the hands. So just picking up the right leg, see if you can squeeze it through, step it forwards. We're going to bring our hands to the inside of the right foot. Turn your toes so that you come to face the long side of your mat, if you're on a mat. Okay, toes are in, heels are out, and come into a wide-legged forward fold. So a nice little bend in your knees so that the hands can come to the floor. Let your chin come to the chest. And wherever you've come to, see how it feels to take a hold of the elbows here. So just dangling between the legs. And if you've got quite a short stance here, you're not going to come very fast. So see if you can heel toe your feet a little bit wider, if that's comfortable. Push into your big toes. Push into your heels and see if you can lift up through the inner arches of your feet. So knees can be as bent as you need them to be. They might not need to bend. See if you can close your eyes. See if you feel stable. Just have a little kind of sway between the legs. Try and relax the shoulders, really let the head go. Taking a couple of breaths here. And then release the hands to the ground. We're going to lift up halfway, so right up onto your fingertips. And we're going to heel toe your feet in till they're just a bit wider than your shoulders. We're going to have the heels in, the toes out, and we're going to bend the knees and sink the bum down and come into a yogic squat. So coming down, if your body doesn't like this, you can bring a cushion underneath your bum. You can just bring your bum to the floor and have your feet wide. It might be that your heels are lifted and they don't want to quite give in. And then it's quite nice to bring a cushion underneath the heels. So just see, we're just going to pause here. And what we want to do is to start to push the arms into the legs. But then the real kind of joy, I don't know if that's the right word, the real joy from this shape is when you start to push the legs back into the arms. And you start to feel quite a few sensations coming into the hips, into the groin. But our main focus for this shape today is the stomach. See if you can relax the stomach and feel your breath moving here. I'm just going to hold it for 3 more breaths. Just notice if you're gripping muscles anywhere. See if you can soften your muscles. 1 more breath. And then we're going to very gently come down to a seat if you're not there. So you might want to bring the hands behind you. You might be able to just plunk the bum down. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together, knees out wide. See if you can interlace the fingers, bring them around the toes. If that doesn't work, hold on to the shins. And we're just going to have a little rock forwards and backwards, just to ease the hips a little bit there. Just a little flow. Okay. And then we'll bring the knees together. We're going to keep the left knee up, take the right leg out long. So this might be nice if you're collapsing in the lower back, if you're rounding here, this is where it's quite nice just to bring something underneath your bum, just to lift you up. Okay, so this right leg, this long leg, the toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. Okay, we're going to bring our right elbow around the bent knee, so opposite elbow to knee. Hug that knee in and twist towards the thigh. Bring the left fingers behind. So spreading the collarbones. See if you can turn your gaze behind you. And then again, where can you soften? So I'm just going to hold it for just a few breaths. And then uncurl. The same knee, we're going to let the knee come out to the side. And then we're going to bring our body forward over the straight leg. So think tummy. So the tummy is reaching forwards and the fingers can come to the floor. So we might stay here, or we might start to bring it forwards just a little bit more, depending on your body. And then wherever you come to, let the chin come to the chest. Relax the elbows, relax the shoulders. And see if you can soften into the hips. So relax the right leg, but keep the toes pointing up. See if you can breathe into the back of your body. And take 2 more breaths here. And with the next exhale, slowly roll yourself up. Bring your left leg in, or send that leg out long. So both legs out long, toes pointing up. Think tummy towards the thighs. So you can rest the hands on the legs. Just bring the tummy forwards as far as is comfortable. Keep lengthening the waist. And then chin to the chest. Relax the shoulders, relax the elbows. Keep the tummy coming forwards. Wherever you've come to, even if you're still quite upright, just relax the body. Breathe into the back of your body. And then slowly roll all the way back up into a seat. Going to bring the left leg back up. We're just going to take it a little bit wider than your hips. Let me come this way. It's very dark today, aren't I? I can't see. So your left foot, take it out to the side just a little bit. You're going to bring your left arm to the inside, and maybe your hand rests on the floor there. Move back. Or maybe you can kind of wrap that arm around. This right hand is going to come into your lower back, so you might be able to interlace your hands, you might not. Okay, if you don't, then push that hand into your lower back. Okay, so we've got one arm maybe here, one arm maybe wrapping. And what we're going to start to do is hinge forwards, and we're going to come to the inside of that front knee. So relaxing your shoulders, hinging forwards, tummy towards the thigh first, and then chin to the chest. Try and bring some weight into the left hip. Staying for another couple of breaths. And then slowly roll it up. Going to bring the left knee back out to the side. Turn your chest towards the bent knee. Right hand's coming to the inside of the straight leg. Take your left arm up and take it over into that side bend, looking up towards the ceiling. So looking underneath this arm, bending your right elbow, and almost pulling the right shoulder, the right rib cage through underneath you. Nice and heavy into the hips. Relax the bum. Let the movement come from the ribs. Breathing in wherever you feel your breath, just noticing it. We'll take one more breath. As you breathe out, rolling it all the way up. And then bring that leg forwards. Okay, so give the legs a little shake, shoulders. And we'll take that whole sequence on the other side. So slide the right leg in. Left arm wraps around the front knee. Left toes are pointing up. Right fingers behind you, twisting towards that front thigh. Trying to keep the hips facing forwards. So we can spread your collarbones. Just take a couple of breaths here. And then slowly unravel. Going to let the right knee fall out to the side. Lengthen the waist and then tummy towards the thigh, bringing yourself towards that straight leg. And then chin to the chest, elbows relax, shoulders relax. Breathing into the back of the body. And then slowly rolling it up. And bring that knee up and both legs out long. And again, push through the toes up towards the ceiling. Push out through the heels. Tummy towards the thigh. It's not gonna, unless you're really bendy, it's not gonna come. Rest the hands on the legs. It's just that direction of pulling the lower body through. Chin to the chest. Relax the shoulders. Relax the elbows. Soften your jaw. Close the eyes. So you can breathe into the back of the ribs. And then slowly roll all the way up. Bend the right leg. Just take it out to the side just a little bit. We're going to bring the right arm to the inside of that right leg. And then maybe that hand rests on the floor, pushing shoulder to arm together. Maybe you can wrap it around and maybe grab a hold of your calf, maybe your thigh. Left arm reaches around. So already we start to lean forwards. Maybe you interlace the fingers behind you. Maybe the left hand pushes into your lower back. Find a little bit of length in your spine through the waist, tummy towards the thigh, and then chin to the chest. Okay. And it might be as you fold forward that you then find the fingers. Maybe they're nowhere close. They're all different. So just observing, trying to be heavy into the right hip. Notice where you feel your breath. And then chin to the chest, roll it up, release. Take the knee back out to the side. Turning towards your bent knee. Left arm to the inside of your straight leg. Right arm reaches up and over, side bending over the straight leg. Turning your gaze up. Trying to draw the left ribs through. Breathing in here. As you breathe out next, slowly roll yourself up. And we're going to bring both legs out in front. Little staff pose. Toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. Hands down by the side of the hips. Maybe you've got fists, maybe the palms are planted. But spread the collarbones, lift up through the spine, through the crown of the head. Front of the body is lengthening. Collarbones are spreading. Feel as though there's a thread at the top of the head pulling you up, pushing out through the heels. It's quite a, doesn't look much, it's quite an energizing pose. Breathing in. Okay, and then soften the body. We're going to bring the hands behind you. The fingers are going to point in. Breathe. Let's keep the heels into the ground. Toes are pointing up. Push into the hands. push through the heels, lift up your hips. So a little reverse plank. See if you can create a nice long line from your heels all the way up to the back of the head. Turn your gaze up. See if you can spread the collarbones. Take a breath. And then breathe out, lower the hips. Okay. We're going to come down to the ground. We're going to do, I don't normally teach this, we're going to do a shoulder stand. So I recommend if you've got some kind of a blanket, that you have a blanket. If you don't, I'm going to talk you through. We're going to start off with a bridge pose. So we're going to come and roll down. So the knee, the feet, ankles, the heels even. The heels are underneath the knees. The knees are hip distance apart. Bring the hands by the side of the hips, palm up, and then roll the shoulder blades onto the ground. So this is the prep for a shoulder stand. I want you to push down into your upper arms, into the tops of your shoulders. And as you breathe in, start to lift the hips up, but keep pushing the arms down. I want you to find length in the back of your head, back of the neck, but the neck is not touching the floor. So this is your prep. Now just bend your elbows, put your fingers up by the side of the hips, lift the hips a little bit higher, push down into the forearms, push into the shoulders. So no part of your neck should be in contact with the floor. Take a breath and then breathe out, roll it down. Okay, so shoulder stand. I'm going to use a blanket. So it just gives you a little bit more space in the back of the neck. So no part of your neck should be in contact with the floor. It's all in the shoulders, hence the name. So if you do have a blanket, you fold it, and the top of the blanket is going to come in line with the top of the shoulders. So your head is kind of hanging over. So the thing with the shoulder stand, do not look left or right, only look up. So you don't want to damage your neck. Okay. So as you lie down, so if you have a blanket, just line up with the tops of your shoulders. And then slide your hand underneath your neck. Make sure you've got that space. And then just adjust so the chin comes in slightly, so the back of the neck is lengthening. So hands come down by the side of the body with the palms up, just like we just done. So the upper arms are pushing into the ground, fingers are pointing up to the ceiling. And what we're going to do is a little bit of rocking motion really to get up is to, I haven't done this for a while, you want to swing your bum up and then you want to bring your hands towards your bum. Okay, so lifting the hips up, have the knees bent to start with, and then just assess. So I've rolled off my mat here, so I'm going to come down and just reposition myself. And then lifting it up. Okay, so just wriggle the head, make sure you've got space underneath the neck. Push into your forearms, your upper arms, so pushing down, push into the shoulders. And then from there, what you might start to do is to take your feet up towards the ceiling. But make sure you're not squishing into the back of your neck. Keep pushing into the arms. You can walk the hands towards your waist, maybe come up a little bit higher. And if you manage to come all the way up, really point through the toes and energetically draw the legs together. They don't have to touch, but it's almost like they're being done up with a zip. Keep pushing down, relax your shoulders down into the ground. I'm just going to hold it for maybe 5 breaths. Now, if you feel this is enough, everybody's going to bend their knees, bring them in. And if that's enough, you're going to roll it down. If you know your body's okay, there's no pressure in your neck, what you can then start to do is bring the feet down to the floor behind you, coming into a plow pose. So the legs are reaching back, toes to the floor, and again, energetically pushing through the legs, pushing into the arms. Don't hold this one for quite as long. If there's any discomfort, you come out and you lie on your back. And then to come out, we bend the knees again. Bring the heels towards your bum and then bring the hands onto your bum. Slowly, slowly, slowly roll down. The head's going to lift, but then you're going to lie straight back down again. And just take the legs out long. Just pause for a moment. And then just a little rock of the head from side to side just to release any tension. And then we take it into a counter pose, just to kind of stretch the muscles in a different direction. So bring your arms down to the ground, just roll yourself up. Remove the blanket if you were using one. We're going to bring the hands underneath your bum and interlace the fingers, a little bit uncomfortable. You can have the knees bent to start with. And what we want to do is to lift the chest, drop the head back. See if you can bring the crown of the head to the floor, lengthening the front of the throat, lengthening the chest. And then you might then slide the legs out long or step them out long. Pushing into the forearms this time, lifting, spreading through the chest. Really trying to relax the tummy. It's called fish pose. Take another 2 breaths. And then to come out, gently lift the head up, roll down, and then slide the hands away. Ooh, and then just come. Ooh, that was big. So just have a little gap between your feet. Have the hands a little bit away from the body. Just pause, resist the urge to move. So it's like a rebound of energy. Just let the body kind of soak up. They were big, big postures. So just let the body soak the shapes up. And then very gently, one by one, bring the knees in towards your chest and hug them in. And it might be nice to lift the head and shoulders, really squeeze up into a ball, shoulders away from the ears. Toes pointing up, a little rock from side to side, but it doesn't make you fall over. And then releasing it down. If you need to put any layers on to keep yourself warm, please do. If not, just coming to find some stillness, just making your body a little bit of a star shape. So taking the feet a little bit wider than the hips, the hands away from the hips, palms face up. A little rock of the head again, really slow rock. See how far you can turn the head before taking it in the opposite direction. A little massage of the back of the head. Just a little release into the neck as well. And then just allowing the head to still, somewhere near the center. The shoulders be heavy into the ground. Maybe even just down away from the ears, just a little bit. A little push through each heel of your foot. Find a little bit more space into the side of the waist, into the hips. And then allow your body just to become heavy. Feel the back of the head, the back of the shoulders and the arms, all the way down into the hips and out through the legs. And as the back of the body becomes heavy, notice the breath in the front of the body. Maybe like a wave-like motion as the breath comes in. And watching it roll back out again as you breathe out. Just giving yourself a minute of stillness. Notice if you're in a need to move and ask yourself why. Just give yourself 1 minute. Try and keep your mind still, focusing on the sensations in your body. Relaxing the face. And then start to wriggle your fingers, your toes, unless you want to stay where you are. Start to have a bit of a stretch. And then when you're ready, bring my knees in towards your chest and give yourself a hug. And we'll roll onto one side. Pause when you get there. And then gently push yourself up into a seat. And cross the legs if that's comfortable. Rest the hands on the legs, and we'll take that mudra again. So the middle finger and ring finger come and touch the thumb. The other fingers extend. Palms face out. Rest the hands on the legs. So mudras are said to change kind of the energy flow in the body. So this mudra concentrates in the kind of whole abdomen. So feel your breath. Relax the face. And just bring your awareness into the thumb and the fingers where they touch. See if you can focus your mind just for a moment. And then when you're ready, we'll bring the hands together in front of the heart. Bowing the head to the hands, the mind to the body. Namaste. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed. Any questions, any requests, send them through. Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening.